All right, folks, and good morning, good morning, good morning. We are here, we are live, and we are filling in for Chillie in advance of he is, well, like it says on the bottom, he's like Schrodinger's cat. We're not sure exactly if he is on the ship or off the ship or on a gangplank, or we just don't know what's happening to him right now. But I am here. We're going to do the show and see if we can have a good time. So, and there I just started to come live. Very good. Good morning, everyone. Chillie might be with us yet here as the show is going on. He is in transition, of course. He is on a back-to-back with Adventure of the Seas in Galveston. And today is flip day. He has all of his things in his room. He just needs to get off the ship. They get to zero census. Then he can get back on the ship and get back to his toys and playthings and his special secret hidden hidden bottle of Elijah Craig. So without further ado, let's get Chillie going here this morning.
It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News. On this is the first day of April. Due to the fact that I'm going to be going through customs and immigration procedures to get back on the ship, I'm not sure how the time frame is going to last, so portions of today's show are pre-recorded. Today is the first day of April, known as April Fool's Day in this country, so beware of people that will pull tricks on you. It's also Take Down Tobacco National Day of Action. I said I would never be one of those finicky non-smoker people when I quit smoking. I've become one of those finicky non-smoker people now. It really bothers me, especially on cruise ships, when I have to walk through an area where people are smoking. I really do smell it. All right, we got a busy weekend for cruise ships sailing from North American ports. Today from Jacksonville, you've got the MV Victory 1 from Port Canaveral, Carnival Liberty, Independence of the Seas, Disney Dream, Port Everglades, Wonder of the Seas, Miami, Scarlet Lady, Carnival Conquest, Freedom of the Seas, Norwegian Sky. Of course, here in Galveston, I'll be getting back on Adventure of the Seas and sailing this afternoon. Out in Los Angeles, Long Beach, you've got the Carnival Radiance, San Pedro, the Navigator of the Seas. Tomorrow from Manhattan in New York, you've got Norwegian Epic, Baltimore, Enchantment of the Seas, Charleston, Carnival Sunshine, the ACL Independence, Amelia Island, the ACL American Star, Port Canaveral, Carnival Elation, Disney Fantasy, Norwegian Escape, which of course was canceled. I should have taken that off the schedule. Sorry about that. The Carnival Mardi Gras, West Palm Beach, you've got the Margaritaville at Sea, Port Everglades, Celebrity Apex, Celebrity Reflection, Allure of the Seas, Emerald Princess, Miami, the Symphony of the Seas, Disney Magic, MSC Seashore, Norwegian Joy, and Carnival Horizon. Tampa, Carnival Pride, Mobile, Carnival Ecstasy, Galveston, Carnival Vista, Long Beach, Carnival Panorama, San Pedro, Majestic Princess, and Seattle, the ACL American Spirit. Sunday, you've got from Manhattan, the Norwegian Getaway, Bayonne, Anthem of the Seas, Baltimore, Carnival Legend, Port Canaveral, the Meraviglia, Harmony of the Seas, and the Carnival Magic. Port Everglades, Odyssey of the Seas, Rotterdam, Celebrity Edge, Celebrity Equinox. From Miami, Oasis of the Seas, Jewel of the Seas, Carnival Freedom, Norwegian Encore. From Tampa, Norwegian Dawn, New Orleans, Carnival Glory, and Norwegian Breakaway, Galveston, Carnival Dream, and Liberty of the Seas. San Diego, Disney Wonder, Zuiderdam, and Koningsdam. Long Beach, Carnival Miracle, San Pedro, Norwegian Bliss, Discovery Princess, and from San Francisco, the Caribbean Princess. Again, since I have to go through customs and immigration procedures today and not sure of the time frame, portions of today's show are pre-recorded. Today's headlines: MSC Euribia inaugural itineraries revealed. Ambassador names Godmother. The Valiant lady delayed after guest Overboard. Pearl to host a new festival. Silver Dawn christened. Alaska port development, and a whole lot more live here at 11 o'clock. If you're listening to this via the podcast, we welcome you. You can always access the podcast on my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you find your podcasts. All the biggies like TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and you'll come up with the Old Fat Travel Guy. Also, in the description of the podcast, you can always find a link to jump over to the video feed if I've used any clips or pictures that you'd like to see. Feel free to join us on the video side. I'll be back with today's news after a word from one of our network sponsors.
And actually, we're going to sneak in here. Chillie sent me another clip that he wants to put on. You know, he was getting a little bit of, pepperoni in the face, actually, because people wanted to know how is the pizza on the ship. And he's got a review of the pizza on Adventure of the Seas.
All right, Jason, as promised, that was a shot of the pizza. I told you I would give you a sample of it. That's Sorrento's pizza. If you ever had Sorrento's pizza, good pizza. Thin crust, mild sauce, decent toppings. Great pizza. That's it. Crust is slightly chewy, but not bad. There's your report, Jason.
It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Okay, so it gave us that intro. Let's see where we can go next here.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live.
And so he had already jumped to the end. We at least have to spend a little time in the chat room and see who's there and what's going on. So Sonny, of course, was most concerned because I had the joke up about Schrodinger's cat. Speaking of cats, look, here's Ace for Friday, April the 1st. And he's ornery today. I think he's going to go outside today. It's 51 degrees. It's time for him to spend the day outside, and that's going to be good. His first day this winter. So Chillie's, as we said, in between. Lizzie Lou, I see you're on board on the chat room. Good morning. Sonny, Carol, a few comments, and we're just happy that you're joining us. Chillie, of course, is doing back-to-backs, and he had left all of his things in his room, and then they weren't calling him to depart the ship and weren't calling, and then finally they did. And so he's, in between somewhere, much as Schrodinger's cat is, as opposed to John's cat here. So we want to bid you all a happy April the 1st, April Fool's Day. When I was a kid, of course, generally it was a weekday and going to school, and Dad always managed to snake my sister and I with the excitement that there was deer out in the yard. because there would be deer out in the yard. I mean, that was a regular thing here when we were young. But, you know, he just had a certain amount of excitement in his voice and, you know, jump us out of bed a little bit early on April Fool's Day to show us the deer in the yard. And then, of course, we got to the door to look out, and it was April Fool's Day. That was kind of the only tricks my dad played. He was not a joker or a trickster in any way, but he did like April Fool's Day. He would be 107 years old now. So I don't know if you guys celebrate heavenly birthdays or not, but he was born in 15. So do the math. So that's our show for today. Exciting times. Chillie will be on board the ship on Sunday. I might be in Duluth on Sunday. We're just seeing if that's all going to come together. Of course, the first working ship, the first cargo ship, just got into Duluth Harbor this week on Wednesday, I believe it was. And it was the Arthur Anderson, which was the last ship to have contact with the Edmund Fitzgerald on that terrible night when we lost the Fitz to the storms there. And the Arthur Anderson was the last ship to talk with him. And, you know, they said, "How are you doing?" He said, "We're holding our own. We're making way." And a few seconds later, he dropped off the radar, and that was the end of that. Lots of things have happened, of course, since in those decades now, since that has happened. And fortunately, we have not lost ships on the Great Lakes, mostly due to really good weather reporting and also probably some better construction. But remember, like the Arthur Anderson was on the lake that night, so she's as old as the Fitz. Have yourselves a great April Fool's Day, everybody. Ace is here, and he's going to say, "You're going to wave goodbye? Huh? Can you wave? Can you wave goodbye?" Yeah. Wave goodbye. And I'm going to put him in his chair for the moment and run some controls here. We'll see you all on Sunday for the Cruise Amigos. And, of course, Chillie will be back on Monday with the continuation of his second back-to-back on the Gulf of Mexico and the adventure of the seas. In the meantime, have a great day, everybody, and